Good afternoon all. Welcome to the lecture of discrete mathematical structure. In last lecture we have completed groups, that is first we have defined one binary operation, after that we have seen algebraic structure, after that we have defined some properties depending, that is some laws on this algebraic structure, and some examples, definition and examples of groups. Okay, today we will start our first unit, which is a combinatorics. Okay, in last chapter actually there is one point, that is lattices, but for that we require functions and relation. Okay, so first we will see functions relation, after that we will take this point lattice. Okay, so today we will start our first unit, which is a combinatorics. Okay, screen is visible. Screen visible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
first, okay, thank you. Combinatorics. Okay, there are actually two subunits. First one is combinatorics, and second one is nothing but somewhat it is related to matrices. Okay, so in combinatorics, our first point will be a sum rule. Okay, it is its definition. If an event can be occur in m ways and another event can occur in n ways, and if the two events cannot occur simultaneously, then one of the two events can occur in m plus 1 ways. Okay, so here first we have to define a sum rule. What is sum rule? If suppose there is one event which can be occurring m ways, that is there are m possibilities for occurring of the first event, and second event can be occurring n ways, and if these two events cannot occur simultaneously, that is they cannot occur at a same time, then one of these two events, that is first one or second one, can be occurring m plus n ways. That is for the if suppose there are 14 boys and 12 girls in a class. Find the number of ways of selecting one student as a class representative. Class representative. Okay. In such examples, we have to use the sum rule. Here, in problem, given that there are 14 boys and 12 girls in a class, and we have to find out the number of ways of selecting one student among these 14 boys and 12 girls as a class representative. Okay, so its solution by sum rule. Sum rule states that if first event can be occur in m ways and second event can be occur in n ways, and these two events cannot occur simultaneously, then one of the two events can occur in m plus n ways. As here there are 14 boys and 12 girls, at a time we can't take one boy and one girl as a class representative. So here we have to choose either a boy or a girl. We have to choose it as a class representative. Then here we can easily use our sum rule. Therefore by sum rule there are m plus n, but here m is nothing but 14 and n is nothing but 12. So 14 plus 12, which is equal to 26 ways of choosing one student as a class representative. As class representative. Let us solve the second one. If a student, if a student is getting admission in four different engineering colleges, engineering colleges and 5 different medical colleges, find the number of ways of choosing one of the above college. One of the above college. For the engineering colleges and 5 possibilities for the different medical colleges. But a student can't take admission at a time in medical as well as in engineering colleges. Therefore, it is somewhat similar to our sum rule. That is, if they that is first event can be occurring in m ways, that is 4 different engineering colleges, and second event can be occurring in n ways, that is here we can take admission in 5 different medical colleges also, and these two events cannot occur simultaneously since a student can't get admission at a time in both the colleges. Therefore by the sum rule there are m plus n ways. So a student, so the number of ways of choosing one of the above college, the above college are equal to 4 plus 9, and which is nothing but 9. Okay, so in this way we can solve the problems regarding some rules. So the next point is nothing but the product rule. If first event can occur in m ways and a second event can occur in n ways and the number of ways or the number of ways second event occur does not depend on the occurrence of first event, then these two events can occur simultaneously in m into n bits. Okay, what is product rule? If there are two events, in that first event can be occur in m ways and a second event can occur in n ways, but the number of ways the second event can occur does not depend on the occurrence of the first event. Then these two events can be occur simultaneously in m into n ways. In some rule these two events cannot occur simultaneously, but in product rule these two events can occur simultaneously, and the possibilities for such occurrence of these two events at a time will be m into n. Seeds example. Three persons enter into car where there are five seats. Where there are five seats. In how many ways? In how many ways can they take up their seats? Okay. In such cases, we have to use the product rule. Okay. Here, three persons enter into car where in the car there are five seats. Now here we have to find out the number of ways can they, that is these three persons, take up their seats. Okay. Suppose there is a car and these are the five seats. Okay, this one seat one, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Okay, so these are the five persons. Sorry, five seats. Okay, now and there are three persons. If first person is enter into car, that is from here, if first person is enter into car, then there are five possibilities for first person. Since first person can sit here, or sit here. That is, there are five possibilities for first person. So there are five possibilities for first person. Okay, but if the first person is sit at place 3, now if second person enter into car, then there are only four possibilities for second person, since already first one is seated here. So there are four possibilities for second person. There are four possibilities for second person. Okay, now if suppose second person is seated here, now if third person is enter into car, then the third person have only three possibilities, that is for this place, this, or at fifth seat. Okay, and there are three possibilities for third person. Now we have to use the product rule. So by product rule, there are 5 into 4 into 3, which is equal to 5 into 4, 20, 20 into 3 equal to 60 ways of taking or occupying these places. These are they can take up their seats. So such problems can be solved by using the product rule. Now the next definition is nothing but factorial notation. Factorial notation. The product of n consecutive positive integers starting with 1 is denoted by this symbol or this symbol and read as factorial n. Okay, so factorial n is nothing but the product of n consecutive positive integers starting with 1 and which can be denoted by these two symbols, that is this one or this one. For example, if suppose we have to find out the n factorial, then n factorial n is nothing but the product of n consecutive positive integers starting with n. So that is, it is nothing but n factorial is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 into up to so on n minus 2 into n minus 1 into n. So these are the n numbers and it is nothing but the product of n consecutive positive integers starting with 1. So this one is nothing but factorial n. For example, if suppose we have to find out the 5 factorial, then 5 factorial is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 and its value is nothing but 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, 24 into 5 will be equal to 120. Similarly, 3 factorial is nothing but 1 into 2 into 3, 1 into 2, 2 into 3 which is equal to 6. But this n factorial can also be written as n factorial, as n factorial is nothing but the product of n consecutive integers starting with 1. So this is nothing but n minus 1 factorial into n. Since it is the product of n minus 1 consecutive integer starting with 1 is nothing but n minus 7 factorial and into n. Similarly, it can be written as n minus 2 factorial into n minus 1 into n. Since here we have taken the product of n minus 2 consecutive integers starting with 1 as a n minus 2 factorial and these remaining two terms as it is, that is n minus 1 into n. If suppose r and n are any two positive integers, let r and n are any two positive integers with r is less than n, then n factorial divided by r factorial is nothing but the product of n consecutive integers starting with 1, that is 1 into 2 into 3 into up to so on n minus 1 into n divided by 1 into 2 into 3 into up to so on r minus 1 into r. This can also be written as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into up to so on 3 into 2 into 1 and which is nothing but r into r minus 1 r minus 2 up to so on 3 into 2 into 1. But as here given that r is less than n and r is also a positive integer. Therefore, in between this somewhere is r the term, that is, as n factorial is nothing but the product of n consecutive integers starting with 1, that is, or beginning with 1. As here r is less than n and r is a positive integer, then somewhere here is r the term, that is r plus 1, r, r minus 1, up to so on 3 into 2 into 1, and which is divisible by these remaining terms, that is r into r minus 1 into r minus 2 into up to so on 3 into 2 into 1. So this r get cancelled. Similarly, r minus 1, r minus 1, and up to so on 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. So which is nothing but n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into up to so on r plus 1. So here we get n factorial divided by r factorial is nothing but n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to so on r plus 1. Similarly, n factorial divided by n minus r factorial is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial is nothing but n factorial is n minus 1, n minus 2. As r is less than n, therefore here somewhere is n minus r plus 1, n minus r, n minus, this one is n minus r plus 1, and up to so on 3 into 2 into 1, and this one is nothing but n minus r into n minus r plus 2, and up to so on 3 into 2 into 1. So this n minus r, n minus r, n minus r plus 1, n minus r plus 1, 3 to 1, 3 to 1 gets cancelled, and which is nothing but n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to so on n minus r minus 1, which implies n factorial divided by n minus r factorial is nothing but n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to so on n minus r minus of minus, which is plus 1. Okay, up to now any doubt? कुणाल काही डाउट? ओके, ठीक है, there is no doubt, then solve this one. What is the value of 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial? Find out this one. 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial is nothing but 5 factorial is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 divided by 3 into 2 into 1. These get cancelled, and which is equal to 5 into 4. 5 into 4 will be 20. Second one. Find 2 factorial divided by 4 factorial. What is its value? 2 factorial divided by 4 factorial.
One upon 10.
This one is ऐकायला येते ना माझं? 1/12. Okay. Now, prove that 2n factorial is equal to 2 raised to n into n factorial into 1 into 3 into 5 into up to so on 2n minus 3 into 2n minus 1. Okay, we have to prove this result. So let us see its proof. Okay, either we can consider LHS and find out RHS, or consider RHS and find LHS. So we will first use the LHS to find out the RHS. Consider 2n factorial. Then by the definition of factorial, 2n factorial is nothing but the product of 2n consecutive integers starting with 1. That is, this one is nothing but 2n into 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 4, and up to so on, 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. Okay, now let us collect the even terms in one bracket and the odd terms in one bracket. 2n is an even. Since it is a multiple of 2, then it must be even. Therefore, in first bracket, let us consider 2n. Next even term will be 2n minus 2. 2n minus 1 is 2n is even, minus 1 will be odd. 2n minus 2. Even minus even, which is again even. 2n minus 2. Next term 2n minus 3 is odd. 2n minus 4 even, and up to so on. 4 is even, and 2 again even, and 3 and 1 are odd. Bracket, take the odd terms, that is 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, and up to so on, 3 into 1. Okay, now here from these all even terms, take 2 common. There from 2n 2 common. 2n minus 2, if we take 2 common, then it is nothing but n minus 1. From 2n minus 1 to n minus 4, if we take 2 common, then it is nothing but n minus 2, and up to so on. From 4, if we take 2 common, then it is 2, and from 2, if we take 2 common, then it is 1. Therefore, 2 into 2 into how times? How many times? It is n times. Therefore, 2 into 2 into 2 up to n times into, if we take 2 common from this one, it is nothing but n. From this one 2 common, then it is n minus 1, and similarly from this one n minus 2 up to so on, this is 2 and into 1, and into this term, that is 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, and up to so on, 3 into 1. But the product of 2 up to n times is nothing but 2 raised to n, which is nothing but 2 raised to n, and n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 up to 2 into 1. Therefore, this one is nothing but the product of n consecutive integers starting with 1. Then it must be n factorial. Okay, and the last bracket is as it is, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, and up to so on, 5 into 3 into 1. That is, this can be written as 2 raised to n into n factorial into 1 into 3 into 5 into up to so on, 2n minus 1 into 2n minus 3. Okay, so which is nothing but 2n factorial. Therefore, 2n factorial, here we get RHS, and that is we have to do. Hence the required result. Result. Okay, so we have proved LHS is equal to RHS. Now the next concept is permutation. First, we will define the permutations is nothing but the different arrangements, of a given set of things, by taking some or all of them at a time, it's called permutations. Okay. So the different arrangements of a given set of things by taking some or all of the given element at a time is called a permutation, and the number of permutation of n different things by taking r, as we have taken these r things from these n things, then r must be less equal by n. By taking r at a time is denoted by npr or p of n. Okay, so the number of permutations of n different things by taking r, as r, this r will be, we have taken these r things from these n things, then r must be less equal by n at a time is denoted by npr or pnr. Let us see one example. The number of different arrangements of three letters A, B, C by taking two at a time are. Okay, so here we have given three letters, that is ABC, and we have to take two among them at a time. First we will take A with B, second A with C, third one B with A, fourth one B with C, and fifth one C with A, and last one is nothing but C with B. So these are the only possibilities of taking two elements from these three letters, that is two letters from these two letters, sorry, two letters from these three letters. If we take any one, then it must be correspond to the number of permutation of three letters by taking two at a time is equal to 6, since there are 6 possibilities, 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, but the number of permutations of n different things by taking r at a time is denoted by npr. So here there are three letters and we have to take two among them at a time, that is n is nothing but 3 and r is nothing but 2, that is this one is nothing but 3p2, or it is also denoted by p of 3 comma 2, and which is equal to 6. Okay, here is one general formula for the permutations of n different things where r we have to take at a time, and which is nothing but example. Of n different things by taking r at a time is n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. That is, the number of permutation of n different things by taking r at a time is nothing but npr, and which is equal to n factorial upon n minus r factorial. So this will be the general formula to find out the number of permutations of n different things by taking r at a time. Okay, so if we use this formula in above example, as here n equal to 3 and r is equal to 2, which implies 3p2 is equal to 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 2 factorial. Okay, so 3 factorial can be written as 3 into 2 into 1, and 3 minus 2 is nothing but 1, and which is 1 factorial. 1 factorial is nothing but 1. That is 3 into 2 will be 6 result. Okay, that is required term. Now the first one, the number of permutations of n different things, n different things by taking all of them at a time. Okay, so here there are n things and we have to take all of them at a time. Then it is nothing but npn, that is pn. But npn is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus n factorial. Okay, n factorial divided by 0 factorial is the required number of ways. Now second, the value of 0 factorial. Value of 0 factorial. Okay, 0 factorial is nothing but the 1 so value of 0 factorial will be put r equal to n in pnr, we get pnn, and which is equal to n factorial divided by n minus n factorial. But pnn is nothing but n factorial, which is equal to n factorial divided by 0 factorial, which implies 0 factorial is nothing but n factorial divided by n factorial. N factorial get cancelled, and which is equal to 1. So 0 factorial is equal to 1. So the value of 0 factorial is 1. Now show that PNR is nothing but n into P n minus 1 comma r minus 1. That is, here we have to prove that the permutation of n different things taking r at a time is equal to the n into permutation of n minus 1 different things where r minus 1 will be taken at a time. Okay, for that consider RHS, and we have to prove that this RHS will be equal to LHS. Consider n into permutations of n minus 1 things where r minus 1 will be taken at a time. This one is nothing but, by the definition of permutation, P of nr is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. Here n is equal to n minus 1, which is nothing but n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus r factorial. That is n minus 1 minus of r minus 1 minus of r minus 1 factorial. That is, this can be written as n minus 1 factorial divided by n minus 1 n minus 1 minus of r minus of minus plus 1 factorial into this n as it is, which is nothing but n into n minus 1 factorial divided by plus 1 minus 1 gets cancelled, and which is nothing but n minus r factorial. But n into n minus 1 factorial is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. But n factorial divided by n minus r factorial is nothing but the permutation of n different things where r will be taken at a time, and which is denoted by p and r. So n into permutations of n minus 1 things where r minus 1 will be taken at a time is nothing but this one, which implies nr is nothing but n into pn comma r minus 1, and that is the required value. If np2 is equal to 72, then find the value of n. Value of, okay, here given that the number of permutations of n different things where r will be 2 will be taken at a time is nothing but 72, then we have to find out the value of np2. Okay, now from definition of permutation, npr is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus r factorial, which implies np2 is nothing but n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial, and this can be written as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial. N minus 2 factorial, n minus 2 factorial gets cancelled, and which is equal to n into n minus 1. Therefore np2 is nothing but n into n minus 1. But given that np2 is nothing but 72, but np2 is nothing but n into n minus 1, which is equal to 72. This can be written as n into n minus 1 is n square minus n square minus of 9n plus 8n minus 72 will be equal to 0. This n square is as it is. Similarly, minus 72 as it is. Minus of 9n plus 18 is nothing but minus n. Therefore, this one is actually this one. Okay. Now, take n common from first two term. We get n into n minus 9 and 8 common from second two term plus 8 into n. 8 common, then it is nothing but minus of 9, and which is equal to 0. So this one is nothing but n plus 8 into n minus 9, and which is equal to 0, which implies n plus 8 is equal to 0 and n minus 9 equal to 0. From this we get n equal to minus 8 or n equal to 9. But we know that n is a positive integer. As n is positive integer, therefore n equal to minus 8 is not possible. As n is positive, since in the definition of permutation we have taken n as a positive number, therefore n must be positive. As n is positive, so n equal to minus 8 is not possible. So the value of n is nothing but 9, which implies n is nothing but 9. So if np2 is equal to 72, then value of n is nothing but 9. Okay, up to now anyone have doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. If there is now doubt, then take one example. Find the numbers. Find the, actually it is different numbers are. Okay, so here how many different numbers lying between 100 to 1000 can be formed with the digits with the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, such that no digit being repeated. No digit being repeated. Okay. So here we have to find out the different numbers which are lying between 100 to thousands, and they can be formed with these 5 digits and no digit being repeated. That is, the numbers of the form 144, 144, 255 are not possible, since here we have to take all 3 digits are distinct, and how many such digits are lying in between 100 to 1000 by taking these 3 digits from these 5 digits. Okay. Solution. The numbers which are lying lying in between 100 to 1000 are of 3 digits. Okay. If you take any number in between 100 to 1000, we have to take these 3 digits, take 3 digits from these 5 digits, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, from given 5 digit. So the required number is equal to the number of permutations of 5 different things taking 3 at a time. Okay. And which is denoted by P N R, and here N is 5 and R is 3, therefore it is P 5 3, and which is nothing but N factorial divided by N minus R factorial, that is 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial, which is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 is 2 factorial. So this one is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and divided by 2 into 1. 2 into 1, 2 into 1 gets cancelled. 5 into 4 will be 20, 20 into 3 will be 60. So there are 60 numbers, 60 different numbers lying in between 100 and thousands, and they can be found with these 5 digits 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, such that no digit is repeated. In this way, we can solve the problems using the definition of permutations. Okay. Up to now, if there is any doubt, then please ask the questions. Otherwise, we will stop here our lecture.